Thousands of years before the monumental pyramids rose to pierce the desert sky, the fertile ribbon of the Nile River in northeastern Africa was a patchwork of independent settlements. Small villages dotted its banks, sustained by the annual inundation that brought life to the arid land. These communities, separated by tribal allegiances and competing for resources, knew a life of local struggles and seasonal cycles. There was no unified vision, no grand kingdom, only isolated pockets of humanity navigating the ancient world, dreaming perhaps of something more, something greater than themselves. The Nile itself, the lifeblood of Egypt, played a dual role. It was both an extraordinary gift and a formidable challenge. Its annual flood deposited rich, fertile silt, enabling agriculture to flourish in an otherwise harsh environment. Yet, controlling and coordinating this bounty across vast distances required unprecedented organization. The river also created natural divisions, separating the peoples of the narrow southern valley from those inhabiting the wide, marshy delta in the north. This inherent geographical split would define much of Egypt's early history, fostering two distinct cultural realms. From these geographical realities emerged two distinct proto-kingdoms: Upper Egypt, stretching south from modern-day Cairo, characterized by a narrow valley and fierce, independent warlords, and Lower Egypt, encompassing the sprawling, fertile delta to the north, a region of abundant resources and more open communities. Each had its own symbols: the white crown for Upper Egypt, the red crown for Lower Egypt, and fiercely guarded traditions. For centuries, they existed as separate entities, occasionally clashing, but largely maintaining their distinct identities, unaware that their destiny was to become inextricably linked. But the dream of a united Egypt, a single land under one ruler, slowly began to coalesce. Over time, powerful chieftains in Upper Egypt began to expand their influence, absorbing smaller territories and forging alliances. This period, known as the Naqada III or proto-dynastic period, saw a dramatic increase in political centralization. The drive was likely born out of both ambition and necessity. Controlling the entire Nile flow offered immense power, while coordinating efforts against external threats or for large-scale agricultural projects would benefit everyone. The stage was set for a figure of monumental ambition. Around 3100 BCE, a powerful ruler emerged from Upper Egypt. His name, etched into history, was Narmer. While some scholars debate if he was truly the first to unify the land, or if he merely completed a process begun by others, Narmer stands as the most prominent candidate for founding the first dynasty and ushering in the early dynastic period. He was a king of action, driven by a vision of a single, powerful Egypt. His story isn't just about conquest, it's about the deliberate creation of a new political and religious identity that would endure for millennia. The most compelling evidence of Narmer's pivotal role comes from a remarkable artifact discovered in Hierakonpolis, the Narmer palette. This ceremonial slate palette, intricately carved on both sides, depicts King Narmer wearing both the white crown of Upper Egypt and, on the reverse, the red crown of Lower Egypt. It shows him striking down enemies, symbolizing his triumph and mastery over the opposing forces. It's not just a historical record, it's a profound declaration of power, a visual manifesto for a newly unified state, showcasing the king's divine authority and military might. It's the birth certificate of an empire. With the unification complete, Narmer, often identified with the legendary Menes by later Egyptian historians, established the first dynasty. His crucial decision was to found a new capital city, strategically located at the junction of Upper and Lower Egypt, Memphis. This city, whose ruins lie near modern-day Cairo, became the administrative and religious heart of the burgeoning kingdom. From Memphis, Narmer and his successors began the immense task of consolidating control, developing a centralized bureaucracy, and weaving together the disparate cultures of the Nile Valley into a cohesive Egyptian identity. Following Narmer, King Aha ascended to the throne, inheriting a newly unified but still fragile kingdom. Aha's reign was critical for solidifying the foundations laid by his predecessor. He continued to integrate the north and south, strengthening administrative ties and perhaps leading military expeditions to quell any remaining resistance. Evidence suggests Aha was also deeply involved in religious affairs, establishing new temples and cult centers that reinforced the legitimacy of the unified crown. His tomb at Abydos, a significant necropolis, points to the evolving sophistication of royal burials and the growing power of the pharaoh. The first and second dynasties, collectively known as the early dynastic period, circa 3100, 2686 BCE, were a time of intense development and consolidation. Kings like Jur, Den, and Kheskemli built upon the groundwork of Narmer and Djoser, pushing the boundaries of what a unified state could achieve. They faced the challenge of maintaining control over a diverse population, expanding bureaucracy, and developing a coherent religious ideology that positioned the king as a divine intermediary. The internal tensions persisted, but the overarching identity of Egypt slowly but surely took root, transforming a geographical region into a powerful nation. Central to the stability and unity of this nascent empire was the concept of the divine king, the pharaoh. He was not merely a mortal ruler but a living god, the earthly manifestation of Horus, and later, linked to Ra. This ideology provided an unshakable foundation for authority, explaining why diverse peoples should accept one man's rule. The pharaoh's role was to maintain Ma'at, cosmic order, justice, and truth, ensuring the prosperity of Egypt in harmony with the gods. This belief system wasn't just propaganda, it was the very fabric of Egyptian society, cementing the bond between ruler and ruled. The true flowering of the early empire's potential arrived with King Djoser, the first pharaoh of the Third Dynasty, circa 2686 to 2667 BCE. Djoser was a visionary, driven by an ambition to leave an unprecedented mark on history. He moved beyond the mud-brick mastabas of his predecessors, conceiving of a monumental stone burial complex that would reflect his divine status. But Djoser wasn't alone in his ambition. He had an extraordinary chief minister and architect, a genius named Imhotep, who would translate Djoser's vision into an architectural reality unlike anything seen before. Imhotep was a polymath, an architect, engineer, physician, and arguably the world's first recorded genius. Under Djoser's patronage, Imhotep conceived and executed the construction of the Step Pyramid at Saqqara. This wasn't just a tomb, it was a revolutionary monument built entirely of stone, designed as a series of mastabas stacked atop each other, ascending to the heavens. It symbolized the pharaoh's ascent to the gods and showcased the incredible organizational power and engineering prowess of the early unified state. The Step Pyramid stands as a profound testament to the empire's burgeoning capabilities. With the architectural innovations of Djoser and Imhotep, Egypt entered its golden age, the Old Kingdom, circa 2686, 2181 BCE. This period, often called the Age of the Pyramids, saw an unprecedented flourishing of art, administration, and monumental construction. The unified state, born from Narmer's ambition, now possessed the administrative machinery and ideological cohesion to mobilize vast resources and labor. This was an empire in its true sense, a centralized government controlling a large territory, maintaining order, and projecting power through grand projects and a robust national identity. Their limits were being tested. King Sneferu, the founder of the Fourth Dynasty, circa 2613 to 2589 BCE, embodies the relentless ambition of the Old Kingdom pharaohs. Not content with a single monumental tomb, Sneferu experimented tirelessly with pyramid construction. His reign saw the creation of three major pyramids, the Mitam Pyramid, which suffered a partial collapse, and then the innovative Bent Pyramid, followed by the perfect, geometrically true Red Pyramid, both at Djoser. These projects pushed the boundaries of engineering, perfected techniques, and mobilized incredible manpower, solidifying Egypt's reputation as a land of unparalleled builders. Sneferu's son, Khufu, also known as Cheops, inherited this drive for monumental achievement and surpassed it. His vision led to the construction of the Great Pyramid of Giza, a wonder of the ancient world that remains largely intact today. Taking 20 years and mobilizing tens of thousands of skilled workers and laborers, this colossal structure was a testament to the pharaoh's absolute power and the sheer organizational capacity of the unified Egyptian state. It represented the pinnacle of their ambition, a physical embodiment of their belief in the pharaoh's divinity and eternal legacy. While the Old Kingdom pharaohs projected immense power, the physical limits of their empire were well defined. To the south, Egypt's influence extended into Lower Nubia, primarily for access to valuable resources like gold, granite, and diorite. To the west lay the vast, inhospitable Lydian desert, rarely settled. The east was bordered by the Red Sea and the Sinai Peninsula, important for turquoise and copper mines, but not for widespread territorial expansion. The core of the empire remained the fertile Nile Valley and Delta, a geographically coherent and defensible unit, protected by natural barriers. They were one because the river made them one. But why did this empire, once a collection of disparate villages, remain one for so long? The primary reason lay in a powerful combination of religious ideology and a highly efficient, centralized administration. The belief in the pharaoh as a divine being, essential for cosmic order, provided an unshakable justification for his rule across all regions. This spiritual bond transcended local loyalties, uniting people under a shared understanding of their place in the universe and their king's vital role within it. The shared religion and culture were powerful unifying forces. Alongside this potent ideology, a sophisticated administrative system held the empire together. From Memphis, an intricate bureaucracy managed every aspect of the state: taxation, irrigation, justice, and defense. Scribes meticulously recorded everything, creating a robust system of governance that reached into every village. This administrative uniformity, coupled with a national artistic and cultural style that reinforced common identity, solidified the sense of being Egyptian. The ability to mobilize resources for projects like the pyramids further demonstrated the state's power and created a shared national purpose. From the fragmented settlements of the pre-dynastic era, through the ambitious conquests of Narmer and the architectural marvels of Djoser and Khufu, the Egyptian empire was forged. It was a civilization built on the unique gift of the Nile, unified by powerful kings who understood the art of governance and the persuasive force of divine authority. The Old Kingdom set the template for over 2 millennia of pharaonic rule, leaving behind a legacy of monumental achievement, profound cultural identity, and an enduring testament to humanity's capacity for organization, innovation, and belief in something grander than themselves.